He leaned across the glass table, breath sharp with triumph. "You're outdated. We're done here," the CEO hissed. I nodded, calm, polite. "Understood." I didn't correct him. I didn't have to. That was the moment the retirement trust activated its voting rights. By Monday morning, the board convened an emergency meeting. The agenda was brief and brutal. Who just fired the person who owns 76% of the shares? I watched it happen from the inside of my head, where I keep my confessions. We were married for 20 years, long enough to grow into each other's habits, long enough to learn which silences meant peace and which meant rot. She liked to say we built a life. I used to believe her. We did the small things well. Sunday coffee, the dog's routine, the private jokes that only survived decades. We built a company too, though she tells it differently now. She prefers the version where she cheered and I worked, where loyalty was assumed and therefore unprotected. The first crack was a look she forgot to hide. Not guilt, anticipation, the kind that arrives early and leaves late. She guarded her phone like it was a pulse. She laughed softer at home, brighter elsewhere. When I asked, she said I was tired. When I pressed, she said I was paranoid. When I stopped asking, she smiled, relieved. I found out the truth on a Tuesday that smelled like rain. No theatrics, no lipstick on collars. A calendar invite misfiled. A shared drive she didn't realize synced to my account. A chain of messages that read like entitlement. They didn't talk about love. They talked about convenience. About me as an obstacle. About after. She didn't cry when I confronted her. She shrugged. "It was just SXE," she said, like she was returning a borrowed pen. "Don't make it bigger than it is." That was the moment the pain sharpened into purpose. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't leave. I didn't forgive. I started counting. Planning is a kind of prayer when you've been betrayed. Quiet, repetitive, relentless. I audited our life the way I audit a balance sheet. I documented timelines. I saved screenshots. I read contracts like confessions. I learned where trust had been parked, who had keys, and which clauses wake up when you touch them. I moved money without moving money. Slow, legal, invisible. I consolidated voting rights into a retirement trust I controlled, a structure designed years ago for tax efficiency and never discussed at dinner. I updated beneficiaries. I repapered loans. I let her keep believing I was stunned. He was a senior executive, ambitious, careless. He liked to say the company needed fresh blood. He liked to say I'd lost my edge. He liked my wife's attention because it arrived without cost. Men like that never read the footnotes. I timed it for maximum clarity. Quarterly close. Clean books, no rumors, just facts. The execution didn't require drama, it required patience. First move. I stepped aside publicly, gave him the stage, let him rehearse his contempt. Investors love a confident villain when they don't know he's won. Second move, the trust letter. Dry language, heavy weight, voting rights consolidated, control clarified, the kind of paperwork that doesn't argue. Third move, the meeting. By Monday, the boardroom felt colder. He started strong, confident smile, familiar swagger. Then the question landed, soft, surgical. Who authorized this? Silence. Paper shuffled, eyes moved. He looked at me like he was remembering my name for the first time. I said nothing. The vote passed. Unanimous. It's amazing how principles sharpen when ownership speaks. He tried to protest. He tried to joke. He tried to threaten. None of it mattered. Power, once misjudged, doesn't explain itself. The confrontation at home came after. Private. Necessary. She stood in the kitchen where we used to plan vacations. She asked what happened at work like she hadn't already heard. I told her the truth in sentences that didn't bleed. She called me cruel, calculating. She said I ruined her life. I reminded her she'd handed me the blueprint. That betrayal is a lesson in leverage. That just SEXE is a phrase people use when they don't understand consequences. Her affair partner packed his office into boxes. She packed excuses. Neither fit. Now the house is quiet in a way that feels earned. The dog learned a new routine. The company stabilized. My name returned to documents where it belonged. I sleep without rehearsing conversations. This is my confession. I didn't do it to hurt them. I did it to restore the balance they broke. Justice doesn't need rage. It needs memory and timing. They thought I wouldn't notice. They thought I would beg. They thought the man who built the system wouldn't understand it. They were wrong. I rise early now. I drink my coffee black. I sign what needs signing. I walk forward without looking back. Silence, when chosen, is a weapon.